Hello and welcome. I'm going to take a look at what's going on with Acala. Now, we don't have any updates since the 8th of September, so I'm going to talk about another point that I found interesting in the trace report, which I want to share with you just to kind of show you that exchanges don't really care. They need to look after the users, which does make sense, right? Because you do sign terms and conditions when you get listed on an exchange. And then I want to talk a bit about Mangata and Turing Network, which is one of the parachains, because it has been holding quite well, surprisingly. And could it be because it's on a DEX and it's not on any centralized exchange? And then I want to talk a bit about the parachain auctions on Polkadot, just to kind of update you on the current status there. And later on today, I will be doing another video on the prices. So stay tuned for that. So let's kick it off here. So as you can see, no update since the 8th of September from the Acala team. The full trace report results were posted on the last tweet there on the 8th of September. But what I want to talk about is with regards to this disclaimer here. So they were talking about a trace result based on the AUSD addresses provided by Kucoin, alleged being Kucoin's deposit addresses on the 26th of August. While ownership of these addresses are still pending on-chain verification, Acala Foundation has been requesting Kucoin to provide a full list of verifiable wallet addresses since the 14th of August. So what I want to talk about here is the fact that Kucoin and Acala have been working together to solve this issue, yet Kucoin has still decided to mark the AUSD token with the ST label, which means it could get delisted in the next while if the volume doesn't recover. Now, my concern there is that it's already been a while now. It's been like 2 weeks since they got that label, so it could very well get delisted any day now, which is a concern, because once delisted, that means the team will have to work with Kucoin to list again, likely pay the fee. But remember that Kucoin have a lot of coins and a lot of tokens on there, so they can keep track of everything that's going on. Obviously, if they get contacted by the team members, then they have to do something, right, to work together and try to help. But with regards to the ST label, that's a Kucoin feature, and they can change that. Like they should look after their users, and if they believe that their users are in trouble because the volume is dropping, because things could go south for a specific cryptocurrency, then they need to take the necessary measures to get that out, right? And this is the case here with AUSD. That's why we're seeing that ST label still there. The volume hasn't recovered, and so Kucoin haven't removed that. Now, if it gets delisted, what will that mean? Well, it will mean that you're going to have your AUSD stuck on Kucoin, and you will not be able to take that out until the Acala team sort out the issue with the chain and they bring back the full functionality, especially the transfers, because without transfers, you can't get them out. So that's the risk that you're taking there by buying AUSD. Again, not financial advice. It does look tempting right now. It is around 74 cents, which means it's a 26% gain if the team recover the peg. And if they don't get delisted from Kucoin, because if they do, we don't know what they're going to do then. We don't know if they're going to be willing to pay a fee again to get relisted. That's the risk that you're seeing right now, and that's the reason why the price is what it's at. But I'll talk about that later in a different video, because I also want to talk about other cryptocurrencies as well. And so yeah, that's the situation here. I just wanted to show you this disclaimer here that the team were working with Kucoin, but regardless, Kucoin do still have to follow their process, which is to apply that ST label if the volume is not great. Now, with regards to Mangata, okay, so Turing Network, which is a parachain on Mangata, listed on Mangata, I should say, they are doing quite okay, right? So if you see here, right, if for every 1 KSM that you contributed to Turing Network on Kusama, in the Crowdloan, you would get 15,637 worth of MGX if you were to sell those Turing coins, right? But this is, of course, assuming you have the full unlock. Remember that there was only a certain percentage unlocked, and then you get the rest distributed in batches, right? I think it's every 8 weeks that they distribute. So we already got one, we got the initial unlock, and then we got one distribution. So we need to wait for more distributions. The next one is due sometime in December. I believe is the 4th of December. And what I want to talk about is the way it's maintaining the price. And so if you would have contributed, you would now get 0.8 KSM for each 1 KSM contributed towards Turing, because in order to get KSM from Turing, if you want to sell it, you need to actually swap Turing for MGX. So you need to go to swap for MGX first, and then once you swap that for MGX and you pay the fee and all that, then you need to swap that MGX for KSM. And then you need to withdraw it from the Mangata X parachain over to the Kusama relay chain. Okay, it's the same when you deposit. You need to deposit Tur from the Turing Network parachain on Kusama over to Mangata X using that HRMP channel. And so yeah, I mean, to me, it just shows you that even at the current prices, I mean, you're still getting a good ratio. And considering that the Turing Network Crowdloan started in the bear market, we already had the bear market, it didn't take too long to list. And so you are getting a great ROI in terms of KSM as opposed to staking. Okay, again, it does depend what the price is going to be in the near future after we get more distributions, because remember, you only had a certain percentage unlocked. But nevertheless, it's still a good ROI considering you can now get 0.8 KSM for each 1 KSM that you contributed. You would have gotten like 1,150 Tur coins for each 1 KSM. And so that would give you 0.8 KSM. Now, if you were to sell it for MGX and then sell that MGX for KSM as I showed you earlier. So yeah, pretty good ROI there. It is 3.6 cents at the moment. I just want to point out one other thing. Apparently, if you wanted to run a collator on Turing Network, you would have had to pay 8 cents per coin. And so compared to that price, it has dumped. Okay, if you would have had to pay 8 cents, now 3.6 cents is not great. But remember that the APY was quite high. And so you are getting like 280% APY, which is humongous. And that's if you're a staker. If you're a collator, you are likely getting even more because you're getting a small commission from those people staking, from the delegators. And so you could balance out that, okay, even though you actually didn't get anything, you did accumulate more coins. And so if the Turing team do deliver on their promise and on their milestones from their roadmap, then you could expect a nice return. But remember that in KSM terms, you're still earning a profit. It's just not in dollar terms, unfortunately, because of the situation. And so yeah, overall, it looks good. Okay, if you were contributing to this crowd loan, you are in profit. So it's not game over for the Kusama crowd loans, as some people have said. It is unfortunate that there are more hypes in other places right now. And I will be talking about one other ecosystem which is still in development right now, and could it put Kusama and Polkadot in trouble? We will be talking about that over the next few days, because I do have plans to cover other ecosystems as well and what's new basically in the crypto market. We shouldn't only be looking at .sama. .sama is not the end all be all. There are other ecosystems out there, and that's the thing, like if you're in these early, then you can profit, right? So we have to think about that too. And finally, I want to talk about the Polkadot parachain auctions. Not much action going on right now. Crust, as you can see, are trying to get a slot on Polkadot as well. I'm not sure if they're doing a full migration. I haven't followed closely to see if they're doing a full migration from Kusama to Polkadot, or will they remain on both relay chains? Because it could be that they're going to have a parachain on Kusama and one on Polkadot. And Omni BDC here, who are also not doing too well, but they are battling it out against Crust. They'll likely win after Crust, 8,763 DOT. They're actually, funnily enough, they're actually Chainx rebranded. So Chainx, who I thought have completely swayed off that mission of becoming the bridge between Bitcoin and Polkadot, are now back with Omni BDC. So they're just basically rebranding. I'm not sure why they've decided to do that. But here they are. Unfortunately, a lot of the parachain teams don't want to cooperate with them. They don't talk to them. They don't talk to the team. And that's mostly because the team are based in China. And that's also because in order to communicate to the team, you need to use WeChat, which is a translator service. So, I mean, how can you expect communication there unless it would be some other team who have team members that can speak Chinese, and maybe they could then form some sort of partnership with Omni BDC. But I'm personally staying away from it. I have been bitten with Chainx before in the past, as you know, if you've been following this channel for a while, and since 2021 or 2020 when I started covering them. And so I'm staying away from Omni BDC. But if you do believe in their vision, if you think they will deliver, then fair play to you, right? And best of luck, of course. So yeah, this is all I wanted to cover. No action on the Kusama Crowdloan, Crowdloans. Only on the Polkadot ones, unfortunately, and so we just need to wait and see what's going to happen. I'll see you later when I'm going to talk about prices in a different video. Take care. Bye-bye.